Increment. Scrum Team creates product in sprints. Each sprint consists of the sprint planning, the daily scrums, the main part, all the work necessary to achieve the sprint goal by creating valuable, useful increments throughout the sprint, and at the end of the sprint review and the sprint retrospective, to inspect and adapt the outcome and the way of work. An increment is a concrete stepping stone toward the product goal. Each increment is additive to all prior increments and thoroughly verified, ensuring that all increments work together. In order to provide value, the increment must be usable. Who creates the increment? Although the developers are the people in the Scrum team that are committed to creating any aspect of a usable increment each sprint, the entire Scrum team is accountable for creating a valuable, useful increment every sprint. The developers of the Scrum team turn a selection of the work, the product backlog items, into increments of value during the sprint. How is this done? How do the developers turn product backlog items into increments of value? This is at the sole discretion of the developers. No one else tells them how to do this. And this is another example of how self-management and empowerment work. What if the Scrum team does not have enough skills to create a done increment within the sprint? According to the Scrum, the team has enough skills. Or they should have, since the Scrum teams are cross-functional, meaning the members have all the skills and expertise necessary to create value each sprint. And if they don't at the moment, they share or acquire such skills as needed. Can there only be one increment as a result of the work in the sprint? No, multiple increments may be created within the sprint, and the sum of the increments is presented at the sprint review, thus supporting empiricism, inspection, and adaptation. When can you deliver an increment to stakeholders? Anytime during the sprint. You can deliver one done increment here, then one increment here, another one here, as far as they are ready for delivery, comply with the definition of done. And definitely not only at the end of the sprint. The sprint review should never be considered as a gate to releasing value. What results may be considered to be an increment? Only work that meets the definition of done. And correspondingly, work cannot be considered part of the increment unless it meets the definition of done. What adjectives does the Scrum Guide use in regard to the increment? Each increment is additive to all prior increments and thoroughly verified, ensuring that all increments work together. In order to provide value, the increment must be usable. The product owner's decisions are visible in the content and ordering of the product backlog and through the inspectable increment at the sprint review. The Scrum team focuses on the creating high-value increments that meet the definition of done. The Scrum team creates value each sprint. The entire Scrum team is accountable for creating a valuable, useful increment every sprint. The developers are the people in the Scrum team that are committed to creating any aspect of a usable increment each sprint. The developers turn product backlog items into increments of value.